Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. As you can see, I am on Zoom today. I'm out here in Australia getting ready for Keith Thurman and his fight with Mr. Brock
Purdy.
And yes, sir. And as you can see, we got Sean Zittel, always excited to sit in my damn seat. The hell?
Oh, it feels good. Feels right.
Hey, look, you see we matching, right?
Yeah.
You see we matching. Do you see that?
That's crazy. What's going on with y'all?
I don't know. We just kind of we got
connected, huh?
No, we got up on the same side of the bed. Okay.
Yeah.
Say what?
We got up on the same side of the bed.
We're
All right.
we're strong, proud co-host, father types.
Yeah.
So
Soul
same
brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah. You know the time change here, right?
What'd you say?
You know the time change, right?
Yeah, no, it don't matter to me because I was in the air and I'm in another world right now.
Oh, well,
I'm actually a day ahead of y'all. So
okay. Hey,
is what it is.
what's gonna happen tomorrow?
But
What's gonna happen tomorrow then? If you're a day ahead of me. See what I did there?
Oh,
you're in the future. Since you know everything and you're in the future,
yeah.
So tell us what the future
be cool.
like.
Nothing's going down. So everything will be okay.
Cool.
I was gonna hit y'all with this last week. I'm gonna do it this week. And since Zittel talked about being happy, proud dads, that's where I'm gonna go with this one. If you are a father, if you are expecting to be a father, if you want to be a father, understand that God has made you a leader. Your number one job as a dad is to lead your family, not just the kids, everyone in the home. Lead your home and be a leader. God has made us all to be leaders. Accept that job. This is the Porter way. I want to start doing a motivational message at the beginning of every episode too, just in case somebody don't wait until the end of the show to watch a motivational message. And then the other side of that is I just feel like I got so much to give. I want to start giving it twice an episode. So there it is. That's the beginning of the show's motivational message. And I'm sure I'll come up with something before we get to the end of this bad boy.
Yeah, I may never organize anything or coordinate any events or actually use my money to pay our bills, but I am the leader. I agree. I'm the leader. That's right.
Hey, yo, listen, let me say this too, just to bring my spiritual understanding to this. The Bible says, it says God is speaking to us and he says, where you are weak, I am strong. And I believe that we are the earthly representation to our spouse, to our family, that God is to us. So God gives us strength where we are weak. Now we extend that to our family. So for you, Zittel, even though I don't know how much of that is a joke, how much you don't.
No, I make the money that pays the
cases.
bills. I just don't actually, she pays them because she's the smart one. She takes the money and, you know what I'm saying? She does all the logistics.
So where you're weak, you're not strong in the area of making sure that things are set right, sir. Ready to go. That's where your wife becomes the earthly representation of God's presence in her. She's strong for you there, and then you go out, you make it happen, and you're still the leader of your family. You know what I mean? So
I felt traces of the Wu-Tang Clan 5%ers in that. You know, I plant the seed in my old earth. God.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just
there you go.
New Wu-Tang fans will know what I'm getting at. Anyway.
Hey, yo, couple things before we get going with this episode, and I'm really hoping Lamont Roach calls in. Hopefully he does. And I reached out to Keith. We won't get Keith before the fight, but we'll get him after the fight.
Nice.
But it's some craziness was going on X this week between me and, can I call him the troll of boxing?
Yeah. I don't think there's no one more prominent, right?
My nephew. Yeah. Who you beefing with? Shout out to my nephew. I'm gonna give him 5 seconds of fame right now. Even though he pretty much just grabs his own. We're gonna give him 5 seconds of fame. It happened. It evolved, you know. And remember, Carson said the other week, he was like, so if the opportunity came, would you spar with Boots? And I was like, yeah, I spar with Boots, boom, boom, boom. I think people took that energy and they've applied it to their lives. I'm still getting fighters and trolls and, you know, nephews calling me out damn near weekly. And it looked like we're going to put something together with Mr. Ray Jackson.
Okay. How's that
What y'all think about that?
I mean, I'm always up for watching somebody get their ass whooped. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I was a big World Star hip hop fan growing up. I don't know about you.
Definitely watched a lot of it.
Okay,
I don't know
so
if I'm a fan, but yeah, definitely
Yeah,
saw a lot of it.
I'm into somebody getting beat down. Who's on the
What'd you
undercard?
say?
Yeah, who's on the undercard? Ann asked.
Funny you asked that because I'm like, the way these fans and other boxers is replying to everything that was going on with me and Ray, a lot of people want me to put him down on his buns. So I might.
I seen that. I'm like, Sean ain't gonna do that. That's doing too much.
But he ain't y'all.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? He not y'all. So
We're cuddly.
He might have to. Yeah. So I saw a post. He's at the gym getting ready.
Oh, really?
We got
With Christine,
some,
right?
We gonna work some things out.
And Christine worked with the 2024
Olympic
Olympic
this thing
team,
a little
right?
bigger than when I got in the ring with y'all. As for who's on the undercard, y'all might be on the undercard again. How y'all feel?
Here we go. They always setting us up for some bullshit.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be calling the fight, actually.
Gotta talk to my manager.
Yeah, I gotta talk to management.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, my manager,
Yeah.
Antt Brenagh.
Yeah, and let me talk to his manager. My manager, Samantha Zittel.
There you go.
Yo, and that's funny. And if there was a fan on the podcast or somebody that had some angst with you and they wanted to get in the ring with you, they did everything. They bought their own ticket. They got their own hotel room. They just wanted to show up. They got their own gear. Would you get in the ring with them?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you ain't a boxer, like you can't be in golden gloves. Like, come on, you know, clip me.
He said you can't be.
Yeah, I realize you nice. I'm gonna
know
grab you.
Say again.
Yeah, I realize you nice. I'm gonna grab you. Okay, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you football. Let me get hospital.
As Ant's manager,
The only problem with it, man, is when you get two green guys in the ring.
Yeah,
that could be
chaos.
that could line up for a bad day
Sean,
for two people.
Dallas. Remember we watched them dudes fighting Dallas? And I said
exactly. Exactly.
It was me fighting me.
It
It was disaster.
in the ring or out the ring?
In the ring.
Oh, okay.
Somebody ended up getting clipped, Sean?
Yeah, somebody got clipped.
Yeah.
It was like literally from rope to rope. Like it was one of them things. So
I don't ever see myself fighting like that, though. They was like, I'm not doing that, bro. Come on, I'm not going to fight like that.
So imagine if I came out with the same energy you came out with when we sparred, but I was like you were boxing you. Like that's like how that thing could look. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, kind of, but I just went.
Okay, so like if you boxing you don't have any training, you don't know what you're gonna do, you don't understand the X's and O's, but you got that kind of energy. Yeah. It could be bad.
I would just curl up, just punch yourself out. Now I'm gonna walk you down.
All right. Well, I got Ray Jackson. We're gonna put something together. We're gonna wait till next episode. The very next episode, I will have things solidified. This is happening.
I could.
Hey, roll the clip. Zittel, roll the clip.
I mean,
Hafey.
What up,
Other way.
nephew? Uncle Sean. Listen, I'm out here in Australia. It is about 6:30 in the morning, and I'm up. I'm working. I saw you posted something. You at the gym. You taking it serious. You working. I'm with that. I'm with that 100. We gonna make some announcements and we gonna do some things. We're gonna do some pretty big things, and I think your number one focus should be not getting hurt.
It's a good poster.
Because this is what I do. I've been working out all morning. My pump is already in, you know what I mean? I'm going to just do these for you so you can see what's coming at you. There's a lot of power coming at you now, you know what I mean? A lot of people say I didn't have power back in the day. That's because I wasn't able to do workouts like this.
Because he had cut weight.
Because I was steadily trying to cut muscle to get to 47. And for anybody who would ask, why would you cut muscle to get to 47? Why wouldn't you just... Well, guess what? When I was doing my thing, 154 wasn't what it is now. It didn't really make sense. So I did what I had to do to get where I got. And now I'm here. You next.
Are we gonna beat him at his hometown or bringing him here?
I think.
No.
Sean
I'm the A side. We gonna get him a Spirit flight on out here, and we gonna put him up probably at one of the Motel 8s, something like that. La Quinta. We'll put him up at the La Quinta.
La Quinta's fire. Yeah, they used to have Super Nintendo at the La Quintas back in the day, so it's very generous of you.
La Quinta,
his ass Super Nintendo.
Sean level of hotel. Let us do this because La Quinta's not bad.
It's not bad.
Now the budget suites.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then budget suites. We're gonna put him up at the Seagull.
I could.
Yeah, that was bad.
Allow me to. Since it's a slow week, so let me give my analysis on one Ray Jackson. And
go.
And I'm gonna start respectfully because there was 1 week. The week I actually hit follow on Twitter, this was about a year or so ago, maybe 2, and he said he was working 80 some odd hours that week on the forklift. And I go, you know what? Any man that'll put in that much work in a work week, I can respect that. And I hit that follow button. But there was times I was salty, Sean, because here, and I'm sure other media guys felt the same way. Maybe I'm speaking for some more salt beyond myself. We would, here I am in the field doing all these interviews, watching hours of tape so that when I run into fighters, I'm prepared. I try to know what I'm talking about, and it shows in the interviews that I would do. And it didn't matter, man. I could get 1 million views, 100,000 views, people sharing the interviews everywhere, and I could never get the fighters to acknowledge me. I could never get a retweet, could never get a, hey, salute to Sean, he's doing his thing. Ray Jackson's talking about baby mamas, and Sean, he got your attention by saying you have CTE. He's saying all these things, and the fighters bite. They give him the clout. They big up him and give him probably what he's looking for. But then the reason why I had to grow to accept that was authenticity matters and humor matters. People love to laugh, and people love to know that what you're saying is really 100% what you think and feel. And because someone like Ray Jackson doesn't have all these ties, I know he likes PBC, but he doesn't have, but then he'll say he was honest about the Gervonta Lamont Roach fight. He doesn't, it's like Antt a little bit. When you don't have all those ties to the boxing business, you could say what you want that much more uncut and raw, and that's what people like. So, you guys have a good sparring session. I'm gonna talk to my manager. We'll see about the undercard, but you guys do your thing and have fun, man. So.
Well, it's definitely gonna be right there in Las Vegas. As far as everything else, I'm still working on putting it together. Like I said, in the next week, I'll have everything solidified and ready to go. But I think that this is one that the boxing world seems to be pretty excited about. And for anyone who doesn't know, I'm gonna go ahead and make a soft announcement right now. This has kind of become a thing for me, and I think I'm gonna continue moving in this space. I think that it's a free space for an influencer, a broadcaster, someone of my magnitude. It's a free space for me to move in. So I am going to move about the cabin, and that starts with me kicking Ray Jackson's ass.
And then Lubin's next. Lubin say he wants some work.
No, slow down. Yeah, well, I ain't talking
no.
All right?
This is ass kicking, Sean. That's big uncle. That's Unc.
Yeah.
Sean, you Unc now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Damn.
I'm Unc. Listen, another thing. Hafey, put it up real quick.
You are. Sure.
I got an event that I'm gonna be a part of next week. This is DuceJuice, and he is hosting Family Fight. This is Family Fights. This is the 3rd edition of Family Fights, and he's called on me and Hall of Famer Corey Spinks.
Corey Spinks, baby, the Spinks Jinx.
Say that again?
The Spinks Jinx, baby. Corey Spinks, former undisputed welterweight and IBF super welterweight champ, bad boy.
We'll be doing the commentary for the video game as these guys play. The co-main event, we got Vex versus Zed, and then the main event, I think, is one that everybody in the gaming community has been excited about, and it is Esteban versus El Tolo. That takes place March 15th, 10 a.m. Central Time, and you can catch it live on DuceJuice TV on his Twitch platform. After that, we're going to repost it, and you can see it right here on the PorterWay Podcast YouTube channel. And the expectation is next week that I'll be able to do a press conference with these guys. I really like that this game is out, and I like that people are taking it serious and making it fun. And I have the opportunity to host press conferences for these guys. I think it's going to be really, really fun. But I want you guys to make sure you tune in to DuceJuice TV, March 15th, 10 a.m. Myself with Corey Spinks will be having a lot of fun right there on that channel.
Well,
All that.
Deuce.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a hell of a name. Hell of a name.
DuceJuice.
Say it again.
You said DuceJuice?
I said juice. I don't know. That's a hell of a name.
DuceJuice.
Oh, okay. DuceJuice. Okay.
What did you think I said?
I don't know. Goose juice.
I'm gonna go really obscure reference. Do any of you guys know what I'm talking about?
He said he used to be a rapper and he needed something that rhymed with Deuce, and he went with DuceJuice.
Okay, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, it works. It's easy to remember. You guys remember Goo Juice? No,
that's Carson. You need Carson.
No. This is very obscure reference. Anybody in the comments? Anyway, go.
You good? You good?
What is it?
It was from a Nickelodeon show in the 90s called My Brother and Me.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
You remember that show? Yeah. So,
but I don't remember that. I don't remember that part in it.
It was like probably the most memorable part of that show. Had like 10 episodes before it got canceled. But anyway,
yeah. It was the Black family.
I watched it and enjoyed it. Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Let's get to some boxing, man. We got Keith getting back in the ring. Rock,
man, Keith gonna make it to the ring? We got 24
making
hours.
Noise.
We got how much time we got? 24 hours? 48 hours?
48.
All right, come on, Keith.
72 hours. We got 72 hours.
It's been 3 years Keith Thurman fought?
Yeah, since Barrios. Over 3 years at this point. A little over.
Over 3 years?
Damn.
Yeah. Keith Thurman has fought once in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Does it feel that way to you, Antt? Do it feel like once in 5 years?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Or it just feel like once and forever?
Yeah, it's been a while. It just, I had questions for him if he would have came on, but like I told you guys, I was watching Porter Garcia last night, and to see Keith Thurman in the crowd, he was the guy. Even if I think he had gave up the belts at the time, but he was still like he's supposed to have been here right now.
Yeah,
he's supposed to have been making this big Terrence Crawford versus Keith Thurman fight. That was the fight we wanted to see. No disrespect Sean and Earl, but that's what we wanted to see.
Which one? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I want to see Thurman. I want to see Thurman Crawford. Was you down?
Yeah. Oh, I would have loved. I think stylistically, Thurman made for a really interesting fight with Crawford. What'd you think? What do you think, Sean?
Man, stylistically, Keith at his
prime.
2016 Keith Thurman.
That's a hard night.
That would have been fire. Like, I know people use the expression fireworks all the time. That fight would have been so beautiful, methodically. Mm-hmm. These guys would have been playing game plans, and then it would have just been a fight at some point. Yo, we missed one. Why y'all like my heart is teased now.
Boxing missed a moment. Yeah, that's what boxing does, but we missed a moment with Keith Thurman versus Terrence Crawford.
You know what though?
What?
Because in the defense, when Terrence finally moved up, Keith had already fought Danny, and he was like pretty much starting on this injury tour that he's been on.
Damn, Sean. I did not think you was going there.
Yeah. So no, I'm just saying, like, I don't think that fight was it ever talked about?
When Terrence came, I remember when Terrence came up to welterweight and stopped Horn, he wanted Thurman. He was mentioning Thurman a lot. And then Thurman, I think it was Thurman or Spence, but it might have been Thurman who said, get a belt. Get a belt. And then once he got his belt from Jeff Horn, he's like, I got a belt. That was good. And, Keith, inactivity, side of the street, a whole bunch of BS, But I think Terrence would have won that fight, but Keith would have been very dangerous and interesting with his speed, athleticism, and power.
The power is things. What
Keith
makes
would
that
have been
fight
dangerous
tough.
The whole way. Healthy 2016 Keith, maybe not quite as smart as he is now.
Right.
And again, I don't know if Terrence was as smart at in 2016, 2017, as he is now. I mean, statistically, I would bet against it, but it's Terrence, so Terrence is just the exception,
50-50?
Nah, I
That
got
would have been a
Edge
hell of a
Crawford.
fight, man.
Edge or Crawford?
Because of as the fight went on, Keith threw a lot of his punches at the same speed. I mean, he was explosive, but everything came at that explosive. And I think Crawford would have adjusted and got adjusted to his rhythm and would have started to find some holes later in the fight. But Keith might have cracked him and dropped him early.
So that's the only thing I said why I give it 50-50, because at any moment I think Keith could have cracked Crawford and really put him on the floor. Crawford would have got back up, but I think that was the only reason why.
Yeah, Crawford might have got hurt in that fight, but I think he would have won, but we'll never know.
That would have been a hell of a fight, man. We're going to have to get AI to do something with that one.
No, here you go, AI.
Well, you
I
want
don't
Allen
even mess
Iverson
with
to do
AI.
it.
We're going to have to get AI to do something.
What can he
I'm
do?
so teased now at that fight.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff.
Man, that's a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, give us your assessment on Brock.
Oh man, shout out to Brock. I mean, the only thing I know about Brock is Liam Powell put him on the butt. He tried everything to get back up. His body just would not have it that night. Liam Powell beat Montana Love. I think, was that the fight when he threw him out the ring?
I think that was another one Montana Love had with Steve Spark.
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah,
I think Powell.
you're right.
Yeah, Powell just lost recently.
Yeah, to Hitchens.
But that's the most I love. I don't know a lot about Jarvis. Looked like a strong, tough kid.
Mm-hmm.
Weird style, herky jerky. I think the knowledge of Keith Thurman can adjust, get him up out of there. Keith Thurman body would stand and uphold. That's the only thing I'm worried about with Keith Thurman. I'm still believing Keith Thurman. He's still talking like he Keith Thurman from 2016. Can he back it up like he's Keith Thurman? This is 9 years later. Whoa.
Yeah, always
Dang.
good. It's almost a decade.
Hey, he said, he was doing an interview, he said, I'm still fighting, I ain't doing a podcast.
What's Sean do?
he said a couple other things too, but that's the part that stood out to me.
Well, Keith, Sean had a busier schedule towards the end than you've had later.
Yeah.
No, but I get his point. He's right. We are podcasting, and he is fighting. But so
and with that being said, he will be doing TV when he's done boxing. So I think if anything, it's not a jab against me. I think he's more so just kind of letting this. That's what he's gonna do when he's done boxing. He's TV ready.
Yeah, former rivals are getting their jabs in on you, Sean. When I talked to Danny after the Tank fight, he randomly brought up that he still thought he beat you back in Brooklyn. For the
No. He lost that fight. I rewatched
randomly brought that up.
I think there was so we're talking about Tank and Roach, and then behind his shoulder is a photo of your guys' fight backstage at the Barclays. And he just, he drifted into, and I really won that fight. I really beat Shawn Porter, and I was like, oh, I do a show with him and then I just shut up and let him explain why he beat you in his eyes. So shout out to Danny.
Danny's good people.
He is.
100%. Danny's good people.
Yep. But as for this fight, Brock Jarvis is a good-looking kid. Good-looking kid. That always helps sell the fight, But it's probably part of why they're putting some chips on him in Australia. And he's a strong kid. And yeah, he got knocked out in one round by Parle, but these things happen in boxing. You could get caught cold in that first round. It happens. Miguel Burchelt got caught cold in Mexico. Mm-hmm. He went on to become WBC champion. So, that's not a death sentence. But, and Keith Thurman fought once in the last 5 years, and his main contemporaries, his biggest rivals, are all retired or semi-retired. Danny is semi-retired. Sean's retired. Pacquiao's retired. These are the biggest fights. Even Josecito Lopez retired, But the last time when he was last seen, that win aged well. He beat a hydrated and strong Mario Barrios, who's now the WBC welterweight champion. So Keith,
clean too.
Yeah.
Easy.
And he did it in a style where he adjusted to his age and inactivity. Less movement, less bouncing around and more stepping around, more efficient, energy conserving kind of style last time. So,
Did Antt say he beat Barrios easy?
Relatively speaking, yeah.
The score is
that body got touched a little bit though.
118,
that body had got touched at one time.
118, 110, Sean.
What'd you say?
The scores was 118, 110, 118, 110, 117,
Yeesh.
111.
But I get it. I get what Sean's getting at. Barrios made him work every round. He was in the fight.
He made him work every round.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And was just a step behind speed-wise. Like he would throw the right shots at the right time, and Keith would just get out of dodge, whatever maneuver, just in time. So, I mean, but he's this old car that's got, I just don't know if this car is going to break down on the road on us, because it's had so many engine problems and all that.
Yep.
I picked Keith to win, but at the same time, Brock Jarvis, even though he's limited, he's strong and he's young. And at this stage in Keith's career, that might be all that needs to get the job done, is get out of there early when Keith's fresh, extend him some rounds, make that old car engine work. And you never know, he might have to pull over to the side. It might, use a car metaphor. But
I'll play off the car metaphor for you.
Thank you.
But because I use that metaphor with Tyson. Tyson truly is the antique car, the historical car that you literally push out of the driveway and people walk past and they shake his hand. Beautiful to see you. But with Keith, he's the nice car, the Viper that ain't been turned on in a long time. You're gonna put that thing on the road, and you might look up round 8. You going across the effed up part, Antt. Round 8, you going across the effed up part, and he might be able to fall off on that part. Anybody that make a drive from Vegas to LA, there's a part. I'm going past this part, and I say, "Yo, Antt, man, I'm at this, man. I hate this part." He said, "Oh, you at the effed up part."
The Cajon Pass.
Oh.
Where it starts dropping down, where it's foggy sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
when you know you're getting close to LA.
Yeah.
And as you driving, you can literally see down.
Yeah. That's the effed up part, man.
That's the effed up part. But basically, that's like the halfway point of getting to LA, maybe a little more than halfway. And you got to hold it together at that point. Now, here's the thing: Keith has all the experience. He got everything he needs to make it past the effed up part. That effed up part is coming. And we know that it's coming because he's been so inactive. We know that it's coming because you got no choice but to go past that halfway point in order to get to LA. You know what I mean? He's trying to get somewhere, and he's going to get to a point where he's going to feel the road. He's going to feel the moment. He's going to feel the, damn, it's been a long time at this level that I haven't been there, And my confidence is that Keith will get past the effed up part because of his experience, because of his goal of getting to LA. And this is just a small little part in his voyage to get there, So I think that Jarvis could get caught with something at some point, which Keith is known for setting traps. I think Keith is like, or what once upon a time was the master at setting traps. I think that we've come to know Tank to be the master trap setter. But to me, it was Keith for a very long time. So I think he still has the ability to set the traps. I think that the power should be there, especially at 54. And I think that this should be a competitive fight, but I think that it's only as competitive as Keith allows it to be. What says you to that, Zittel?
I like that.
Yeah, what I agree in terms of this is when you say as competitive as he allows it to be, I take it as it's as competitive as Keith has left in the tank. If he's running close to E, very competitive. Could be the last fight of his career. Could end unceremoniously down under against a limited young fighter. But if Keith is the Keith that fought Barrios, he could make this look easy potentially. So it's really on, and that's not to take away from Brock Jarvis, who I'm sure at his age is getting better and getting better and cut as in his professional growth. But yeah, I agree, Sean. It's about Keith. And one thing I have noted from Jarvis that I don't like, it's a lot of talk about you're old, you're this, you're that. What about you? What do you got going on? I want to hear about what you've got better at since Paro. Mm-hmm. Why are you gonna win this fight? Not all about Keith is this and Keith is that. I mean, that might wind up being true, and maybe he's right. But I always like to hear fighters also talk about what they're gonna do, not just your weight drain, you're old, you're this, you're that. It's like, okay, so you're banking on him sucking, not you being good.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So,
That's a good way to put it. I didn't take it like that.
yeah.
I honestly took it like, I think promoters and managers give us narratives.
Mm-hmm.
And if we allow ourselves to believe those narratives, it'll either get us where we want to go or it won't. Reminds me of when I fought Kell Brook. I was being told that I think when I fought Kell, he might have been like 30-0 or something like that. He hadn't fought for a world title. And that was the only thing being fed to me until the fight. And I went into the fight, I underestimated him, and it didn't get me where I wanted to go, So I hope that them telling him, he's an old fighter, he's an injured guy, and this is the name you need on your resume. I can only imagine the things they're telling Brock Jarvis. If he believes them, and for him not being a world champion or not being that guy, that's the energy that he needs when he gets to the effed up part. We keep going back to that because it's so funny to me, but that's the energy that he needs. But I think overall it's gonna be a fun fight to watch. And I know the energy over here is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, they hyped.
So you think they're telling Brock he's old now? It's your time now. You got to understand, he's an old man. I can't. I went British towards the end.
You got it. You sound like Rocky's trainer with a little bit of British accent.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
You got it. You got it off.
Okay.
You got it off.
We got it off.
And then you want, I brought up to you guys. There's a chance we got a big fight. That I guess on paper it's a big fight if it happens. Devin,
stuff from.
I was just thinking, like, he at 147 now. Boots staying at 147. There's a chance.
Oh, is Haney's next fight is at 140 or 147?
144, which is welterweight.
Okay,
they're fighting at welterweight.
147.
Yeah.
He's ranked number 1 at WBC for Mario Barrios' belt. That's the other thing. He's no one ranked.
Who?
Devin Haney.
Haney?
Yes.
Oh, snap.
So there's a chance. I mean, you have to get it off Barrios, but there's a chance we can get a Haney Boots down the line.
Let me say this real quick. We released the interview that I did with Boots on Friday.
Yes, sir.
It's a fantastic interview. I don't watch my stuff. I can watch that one. It's so good. Make sure you go back and check out the interview. Really just wanted to reintroduce who Jaron Boots Ennis is. And I think you get a really good understanding of who he is and furthermore what he's trying to do in the sport. Everybody's saying that he was ducking Virgil. Remember we were at the studio and we getting like information on the. You were like you said Eddie always lying to us.
Mm-hmm.
There were some things that happened that caused posting and things like that to happen about a fight between Jaron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. That fight was never solidified. That fight had legs, but it wasn't even running. It was walking. Okay. So, but what you'll see and understand through the interview I did with him, a fight with Virgil Ortiz is possible, but it ain't possible until Boots conquers the 147-pound division. He wants all the belts. Give that kid his respect to get what he wants, and then allow him to move up and do what he need to do with Virgil Ortiz when the time is right.
So being that to get all the belts, you might have to fight my man Devin Haney down the road. Devin Haney is number 1 WBC at 147. Mario Barrios got that belt. I mean, that's a tough fight. That's a tough night right there.
Barrios
is tough for Devin. I don't even like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. But unless you're gonna hang out 147 and try not to collect no belts, down the road we could get a Boots versus Haney, and that is a bad night for one person. Y'all take a guess who I think it is. It's a bad night for somebody. This might be a murder.
No.
This might be a murder. Yeah, that might be a murder scene.
I don't think we'll get Haney and Boots at 47. I think I think Devin Haney could, and I don't mean to shoot the fight down like I wouldn't like to see it. It's a good fight, but Devin just got to welterweight. I think he could definitely potentially beat Barrios for that WBC strap. I think Ennis would be a step too far. Devin started at 135. Ennis is a career welterweight.
Hey, Terrence Crawford.
Yeah. But there's only one Terrence Crawford, and Haney is had a great success at 26 years old. 5 titles in 2 divisions, youngest undisputed lightweight champ since Pernell Whitaker.
A technician.
But he's not a big puncher coming up in weight, and I think that it'd be tough for him to just outbox Jaron Ennis, who's just as athletic, if not more athletic, punches harder, is bigger. It's a tough fight.
But if he does, Bill Haney is coming. Yeah. And he coming to let all y'all know. We undefeated at 147. Undisputed at 147. Also undefeated.
I think Devin, well, he's got his Garcia rematch to worry about first.
That's 147 also.
Yeah. And I was actually starting to feel good about Ryan Garcia getting back with Reynoso, and I'm like, oh man, this guy could still take off and be maybe the biggest thing in boxing. Now I'm hearing he might not be with Reynoso this camp. That's not good. But for Haney, he's still got this Garcia rematch to navigate. And again, I think he could beat Barrios for the WBC, but I think Ennis would be a step too far. And I wouldn't be surprised if, I know Ennis has talked to Shawn about getting all 4 belts, but I don't know. I could see him beating Stan Jonas, maybe getting a Brian Norman fight, and then moving up by the time Devin would finish his work with Ryan and Ramirez this year. And I don't know.
If Devin boots, is that a big fight? Like, will people come out for that?
If Devin could win a Ryan Garcia rematch, which is a huge if, then it's a huge fight. Yeah, it's a
and then beat a Barrios, get a belt.
Yeah, then that is big time fight, but that's a lot of
F's.
Yeah,
and that's a tough road.
Yeah, and
I mean, let's not forget how good the kid was before the Ryan Garcia beating. The kid was talented, and he was also performing well.
And accomplished.
And he was performing well in that fight. Got up every time.
He did.
I'm big on that. Got up every time, and I thought he was winning middle rounds. Just the left hook was there all night, and that was his Hail Mary worked all night.
Yeah, he could still very well beat Ryan in a rematch. I don't think he's not the favorite right now. Yeah. I think most people are favoring Ryan. Yeah. They think he's got his number, even with the PEDs and the blowing the weight. But that's why we got to see how they look in May, and then we got to see if they get past both of their fights, how they look in a rematch, and that'll tell us a lot.
Ryan versus Haney is like Ryan only throws Hail Marys all game, and he catches them.
Right.
He's like, damn, bro, damn. Like.
Yeah, I get annoyed. I've actually heard a couple of people say Ryan got Devin's number. And I'm like, how? How do you come out of your mouth and say he has Devin's number? He doesn't. That was one fight, one time, big moment. We know what was involved, but I truly believe that Devin Haney beats Ryan Garcia in the rematch. I truly think that Devin is the better boxer. I think that Devin, when focused, firing on all cylinders, is just a better boxer than Ryan Garcia. That moment with them hooks, that day, that night, he couldn't make the adjustment. He's learned from it. He will learn from it, and he'll be better in the rematch. I think that rematch is going to be hyped.
Yeah.
I really like the card that's coming up. I love Ramirez versus Haney. I love that fight because I think Ramirez definitely has enough. Go ahead.
No, I said we're looking past that dude Ramirez. He's gonna be tough.
And Jose Ramirez definitely has enough to beat Devin Haney. Not even beat him, but make it a really great competitive fight. You know what I mean? So that's a really good fight. I think that won't be the fight of the night. Rolly and Ryan will be the fight of the night.
Because someone's probably getting highlight reel knocked out in that fight.
What'd you say?
Someone's probably getting put out, not just put out, but highlight reel style in Ryan and Rolly, especially if Rolly brings back the old Rolly and punches with Ryan.
Not timid.
Yeah. So I hope that's the Rolly we get.
That fight is somebody is gonna get hurt. I don't know who gonna get hurt. Somebody gonna get hurt in that one. I would bet that it's Rolly that ends up getting hurt just simply because he hasn't been Rolly Romero since the Tank fight. I mean, keep it real. He hasn't been Rolly Romero since the Tank fight. Before Rolly, just so that I can provide the necessary understanding. Before Rolly fought Tank, Rolly was like this daredevil in the ring.
Yes.
That was a manhunter that was just gonna come get you. And he just ain't that guy anymore. He's very hesitant now. And on top of that, he's more willing to use his feet because he doesn't have the mechanics to use defense with catching punches and slipping punches and returning, you know? But if we get an old school vintage Rolly in the ring against Ryan Garcia, that thing gonna light up New York. That thing gonna light up New York like it ain't been lit up before.
Hey, you know, speaking of that fight, real quick, obviously.
And shout out to Teofimo Lopez. I'm actually wearing his gear right now.
Okay.
He gave me this a long time ago, and I put it on. I was like, "Yo, this thing comfy."
You don't know what happened. You don't know what just happened.
No, I don't.
No, you
God
good.
damn it, they'll look stupid.
Hey, no, you good. You good.
Yeah,
Haney and Boots came up and
I ain't
said in
show
the back
nothing.
of
You
your
ain't get to
sweater.
see nothing at all.
Yeah, do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
again.
Do it again. Do it again. All right, the takeover.
Yeah, the takeover.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Sean, what you think of the energy between Barboza and Teo? I think I got to favor Teo early on just because of the gifts and explosiveness and talent that supersede Barboza. But Barboza's riding high right now, and he's very hungry. He fought a very disciplined, intelligent fight using his feet, which always gives Teo problems. He did that against Catterall. And I felt like, again, even though I'm giving the edge to Lopez here, I felt like Barboza kind of really brought the energy to him in New York and kind of scored a 10-8 round in terms of the fight before the fight, all this verbal stuff. I felt like, you know, he brought that tough from the street LA kind of energy. And what it reminded me of a little bit was Gervonta and Roach, in that you got this professional grown-ass man in front of you who's very hungry, taking you 110%. And maybe you're taking him about 80, 90% serious in comparison. And you think this guy's talent just isn't on my level. So Teo should better tighten up and take Barboza very seriously in this fight. What'd you think of all that, Sean?
I think he will tighten up. I did not see a 10-8 round out of that. I saw 10-9 for Barboza.
10-9. Right?
I saw 10-9. I thought, you know, Teo's gonna do Teo. You know, sometimes when he speaks, it sounds a little quirky, but then there's other times where he makes a lot of sense. So in that match, I did feel like Barboza represented himself very well. The thing I really liked is he spoke on the momentum, and I do believe that the momentum is on his side, as he said. But here's my thing with Barboza. I figured out what the problem is with Barboza. He will not punch unless he knows that you're in range and he knows that he's gonna hit you. He had to step up in his last fight against
Catterall.
see his face. I'm gonna see his name. What's his name?
Jack Catterall.
Jack Catterall. Yes, he stepped up against Catterall and he forced it, and he made some things happen. But that's not really his nature.
Right.
If it's becoming his nature, I'm with that 100%. I'm with that 100%. And I even thought that fight was still close. Barboza's problem is he's not going to punch unless he knows he's in range. The other side of that is Teo a lot of times becomes this counterpuncher that's waiting on that Action Jackson shot, and Barboza don't give a lot. You know what I mean? So I think the fight's gonna be interesting. I do have Teo winning that fight because I think he is more athletic. I think he is kind of for the sake of it's like the pouncer. He's the one that can pounce on you and just kind of steal rounds, where Barboza has to be consistently operating, doing the right things, and one fight don't give me the confidence that he can do that. But if he's willing to believe that he's got momentum on his side and he can work, if he's a better version than he was against Jack Catterall, this is a 50-50 fight. Right now I got a 60-40 for Teo Lopez.
In this card, we got Haney, Garcia, Teo, all A sides. What A side you guys see can be upset? I'm going with Teo.
Oh man.
Because
Teo.
I never know what Teo I'm getting. When I pick him, I bet the house on him, everything, he plays with my heart. When I go against him, he performs like a world-class fighter
Right.
that I've never seen before in my life. Inconsistent.
I agree. I think on paper, it's Barboza has the best chance of the upset, but they're all interesting fights for their own reasons.
Yes.
Rolly and Ryan with the sparring, again, like we're talking about, if Rolly brings back the guy he was when they sparred, an uncouth, disrespectful, uncivilized, beast in the ring, fearless.
Right.
Then he gives himself, he unlocks the true puncher's chance again against Ryan. And then for Devin, it's funny. I think Barboza and Teo's the most competitive fight on paper. Ryan and Rolly is the funnest fight on paper. And Devin, in a way, is the most significant fight on paper in terms of, because it may not be the sexiest storyline, but it's the one with the most substance. What is this 26-year-old who's accomplished a hell of a lot already? What does he look like after that awful night against Ryan Garcia? Is he the same? How does he react? The first time Ramirez gets him on the ropes, even though Ramirez is past his best, and he does his Ramirez stuff, and maybe at some point he pins him on the ropes and finds him with the left hook. What does Devin Haney look like? I think that's the biggest substance of that triple header is what do we still have left with Devin Haney? Does he come back stronger? Does he look shaky? That's going to be maybe the most important thing of the night.
So you got Teo also, that fight.
Yeah, I got Teo.
What you got, Sean?
I believe that Devin Haney comes to the ring and he becomes the Devin Haney, or he is the Devin Haney that he's always been. I think that he beats Jose Ramirez to the punch. I think Jose doesn't have good enough feet to stay with Devin. Should Devin find himself in range and Jose lets go, it'll be even more competitive. But I think that it's Devin Haney's fight to lose. I think that Devin is just better at multiple things. I really like Jose Ramirez. Was a Jose Ramirez fan coming out of when he came out of the Olympics. I expected him to be further along than he is now. I think if anything, maybe we haven't seen the best version of him, and that's still out there. The best version of Jose Ramirez, this goes every round. Every round's close, and it's a 50-50 fight. But at the moment, I think that Devin Haney is the Devin Haney that he's always been. He's just faster and sharper than Jose Ramirez, and he wins. Upset of the night could be between I agree with what Zittel said. They all have their little small nuances that could just kind of flip and end up being not what everybody expects. But I got a toss up between Barboza and Romero. I think that both of those guys have the ability to beat the A-side fighter, but they both just got to do the right things. Mm-hmm. I can't bet on either of them.
Okay,
can't bet on either of them. But to segue into His Excellency and TKO merging and creating this boxing league, if fights like this right here are the fights that we can expect moving forward. And the other side of this, for me, with this league, this is what I want to see. I want to see the losers all get matched against one another. No win, loser, draw. I want to see the losers get matched against one another because, with the exception of Rolly, and I'm not trying to hate on Rolly, but I just think that Rolly has consistently shown that he ain't at that level no more. But Barboza, obviously, depending on how you lose, should Barboza lose to Teo, I think that will be a great fight against Jose Ramirez. Should Jose lose to Devin Haney, I think that fights like this, when you get marquee matchups, really good, close, competitive fights, I think the losers should have the opportunity to fight the other loser as well.
You know what the problem is, though, Antt?
Go ahead, give me a game.
They already fought each other, Ramirez and Barboza.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Just
that
let you
true.
know.
That is true.
Just having fun.
That is true.
That is
true.
But yeah, you got the TKO.
God damn it. I'm trying to
get guys more dates, more paydays. Very nice of you.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying. What I'm saying is you make nice cards the guy that loses the fight shouldn't worry about, I don't get another opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Goddamn, is Zittel calling me out like that?
No, you're right. You're right.
What is the?
Go ahead, Antt.
The promotion company is called TKO.
Yeah.
I mean, Zittel, I'm gonna let you get your ish off too, Zittel.
No, he ain't getting no ish off. Don't stretch
what
out.
do you mean? What do you
We
mean?
about to get up out of here.
He can talk about Dana White. Talk about Dana White. How much you respect Dana White?
Talk about all of them.
TKO formed. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is like they're gonna get up and coming guys, the 4-0, 5-0 guys. That's what it sounds like it's heading towards, and kind of build those guys up maybe, and then maybe on the back end steal some big names. I really don't know what their plan is. I think I told a lot of people if I'm PBC, Golden Boy, top ranking Matchroom, I'm on the phone right now. We're trying to figure out something to keep this sport tight. We're trying to do what Zittel been telling y'all to do for the last 6 months, I think.
Yeah, and if
That's
they
not
are
a year.
making those phone calls, it might be too late. But this would be the last. This is it. This is the last minute. Like you
y'all
guys,
on the phone,
yeah. And it's a shame that if they do get on the phone, that it took this to make them make those.
What
phone
we've been
calls.
asking for the last 20,
Yes.
if not more years.
Yeah, at least 15.
Yeah. So it's just like right now, something new's coming, refresh. And if you can't join the movement, start switching up something, the old stuff is dying out. You got to do something. You got to get a change. I don't know what this guy is going to do. I don't even know if this is going to work, to be honest with you. This may not even work and might fall apart. And
You can see either one happening, that they revolutionize everything and they take over the whole sport and remodel it, or that it flops in a couple of years because boxing's the Wild West and it's not easy to just come in or a lot of people have come in with a lot of money before and, and have found out in a few years' time it didn't go the way they thought it could.
And also, I know a lot of people like, oh man, Turkey just money. Shout out to Dana White. I mean, I don't got the direct relationship with Dana White, but friends, blah, 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 blah. Dana White ain't playing UFC fighters $10 million a fight.
No.
He ain't paying $5 million a fight.
He's been in court twice because of fighter pay in
Yeah,
the last
so
couple years. Yeah,
that's another thing. I'm like, even if they take over the sport, I feel bad for boxers because they will make less. It will take a hurting on them. They will fight more. They may be even bigger names, I tell.
Yeah.
But overall, what really matters is the money. They will take a hit on the money.
Some of that would be their own doing.
Yep.
I'm on this side, I'm doing my thing, Yous are all doing your own thing, and it's hurting the sport. And that, So that would be a little,
I'll say this, and Zittel, you know that I've been advocating for something like this to happen for a long time. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna advocate for His Excellency and tell everybody from my viewpoint, and I have a very good, close viewpoint. The man is not just money.
Okay.
The man, for whatever reason, loves boxing. I ask people all the time, why do you love it? Like, because it just doesn't make sense to me, especially when you are someone of that caliber, to have the kind of admiration towards boxing and fighters the way that he does is to me has become amazing, because I, like most people, would think that, oh, he's just a kid in a toy store and he's picking what he wants and he's paying for it, and so he's getting what he wants. The man has paid attention to this sport for a very, very long time. He has done his research. He has come over to the United States when people didn't even know he was here. He's shaking hands with people when people didn't know that he was shaking hands. He's done everything that's needed to pull something like this off. And furthermore, beyond that, I have somebody even closer to me that told me, like, yeah, he came in and he told us that our broadcast was all wrong and we needed to change our broadcast. So the man pays attention and has paid attention to the X's and O's of the business of the game, from in-ring, out-of-ring business to even networking, and how the thing is how the finished product is supposed to look on fight night. So to this point, from my viewpoint, he has crossed every T, he has dotted every I, and I think that this is just the next part of the process. And I think that boxing is going to benefit from it, because this is something that boxing has needed for a very long time. Everybody's been asking for it.
Yeah.
Just because it's not coming the way that you expect it to come, don't mean it ain't going to work. Just because it's not coming in the package that you expected it to be in, don't mean that it ain't a good package. Be patient, and let's just see what happens.
You want to speak about it?
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I'll let you talk, Zittel. A lot of people said that are like I don't want to use the word excited, but they feel like the fact that Dana White is involved and Dana White doesn't have any boxers. He's kind of like neutral to the league, and people feel like that's a plus. What do you think about that, Zittel?
Man, this is tough because I want to try and wrap it up as quickly as I can, and I haven't actually posted on my channel in a couple of days because I think this is maybe as big a news as there's been in boxing since I've been in boxing, about 15 plus years now. And I've just been deliberating on it and trying to be fair and trying to weigh in what could potentially be this huge shift. And like on a personal level, I don't like it really. Not a huge fan of Turki Alalshikh and the fact that I could, they use the sport to further their Vision 2030 and a lot of the Saudi Arabian government ideals, but that's just me. People don't care about that. Fans are fed up with what boxing has been in large part the last 15 years. It's been like pulling teeth to make fights happen that they want to see. But at the same time, UFC and Dana White have increasingly struggled with this too. John Jones, I don't even know I don't watch mixed martial arts, but even I know John Jones ducked the Francis Ngannou fight, and Dana White, for all his bluster, he didn't deliver that fight. Francis Ngannou had to go to boxing to make that kind of money. And then this fight now with Tom Aspinall, he hasn't delivered on it. And UFC is a well-oiled machine, while boxing is oftentimes dysfunctional. So Dana and the Fertittas have done their thing, and Ari Emanuel they've done their thing. I give credit where it's due. But they're not peaking right now in terms of marketability. They're running into a problem boxing has, which is a lot of these Eastern Europeans with hard names to pronounce that are tremendous fighters are beating the more recognizable names and faces and backgrounds that fans are used to. So boxing, I think, with Gervonta and Ryan has the most recent, I could be wrong, but I think boxing actually has the most recent million-plus pay-per-view fight, not the UFC. And the UFC, as it's drifted away from the Conor McGregors and the Ronda Rouseys and the George St. Pierres have retired, they're struggling to move the needle like they once did. So, yeah, but you're kind of getting, and then even, boxing's had unsavory characters at the top forever. I mean, racists hosted they brought Jim Jeffries out of retirement to beat Jack Johnson, to get the Great White Hope. In the 50s and 40s, the Mafia with Blinky Palermo, they ran the IBC, like it's PBC. It was called the IBC back then, and they had the racket on Madison Square Garden and all the fighters there. But at the same time, I mean, Dana White, he was dapping up Andrew Tate last night. I mean, this dude is accused of trafficking minors and all kinds of fucked up shit. I mean, so forgive me, Sean. I'm sorry. And then Turkey.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah,
let's wrap. Yeah, I didn't know. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah,
dog.
Anyway, to wrap it all up, so I'll condense it into this. Despite all that, and despite Dana once for a long time being the antagonist to boxing, belittling boxing to build UFC, and despite Turkey and his background, fans don't care about all this stuff I'm talking about. They want to see a well-oiled machine. They want to see a consistent, high-quality product. And if Arum and Heyman and Hearn are on the phone now, what took you so long? Why? It's an indictment on you guys that it takes this to happen for you to even consider doing what's right by the sport and not just your personal agendas. So the fans are gonna, if Dana White and Turki Alalshikh it'll suck for the fighters inevitably. If it's they're trying to repeal the Ali Act, but the fighters will have themselves to blame. Well, a little bit too much BS. And now you're going to have to fight each other for a fraction of the money you could have fought each other for if you did it on your own. You had the freedom, and that freedom might get taken away. Part of me hopes that boxing, this is the final call. This is the final wake-up call to stop bullshitting.
And they come together?
But if not, then Dana and Turkey might take the game over, and that's how the world goes sometimes. And even someone as bitchy as me about this stuff will have to accept that.
Yeah, like you said, boxers will go from making $1 million fights to $50,000.
Yeah.
Kind of is what it
But they
is.
get the 50,000 bonus if they knock someone out.
Oh, say
They can make
100K.
up some, yeah.
And then we got the ring belt versus all the other belts. Hey man, I think you said this once before. Shout out to I don't know about you, Sean. I respect the WBC belt more than any belt.
Me too.
That's just me personally.
But
Mauricio watered this shit down. Every time I look up, there's a different belt in the ring. There's a da-da-da-da-da belt. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, bro, you're always making a belt. Like, just, we respect the WBC, but I think he wants to, and he was one of the guys, he's going against him now, but didn't he present him with a belt in the ring one time?
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, hey.
Yeah. So it's like,
there it is.
Mauricio, you want to be touching with everything, dealing with everything.
That's
but
what got you caught up.
Yep. You also watering what your well-respected belt down. I remember, like I said, I watched the Garcia Porter fight last night, and Sean was talking about how bad he wanted the WBC belt. I mean, he came out trunks, everything. He wanted that WBC belt because it's been so much to him. All the greats had the WBC belt. So it's just like, man, we had so much respect for your belt, but then every time we're looking up, you're making a belt for something else. You're allowing guys to duck other guys. You don't have to fight your mandatory because you're a super champion. Like, what the hell are you talking about? So it's like, now we're to the point where Turkey only wants to have the Ring Magazine belt, the one respected.
The magazine belt that he owns.
Yeah, he bought out the whole company.
Yeah, he bought the whole thing.
It's crazy, but yeah. So it's just in whatever belt he had on his right side. I don't even know what that's about.
This is Fatal Fury.
Okay,
All
right.
All right, let me ask. All right, here, let me ask this goddamn question because now y'all pissing me off.
Okay.
So y'all know I'm doing this movie. There's gonna be parts in this movie where people are gonna be in suits. Everyone in a suit in the movie is gonna be in an SP suit.
Which makes sense.
I'm not supposed to want people in my suit. It's his league. Wait, yeah, it's his belt that he owns. Yeah, it's supposed to be that way.
No, Sean, I agree with you. I always wanted to just be one belt. I wanted the WBC to be that belt. I think that helps the sport of boxing also. We got too many damn belts. Shout out to the WBA, WBO.
Yeah, I mean,
IBF.
if there was an interim this, silver that,
regular that,
mandatory this, I don't even
emeritus.
Because I tell people all the time, I'm grateful for the 4-belt era because it helped and allowed me to become a 2-time world champion. There's something about those accolades that helped me get into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. I'm going into the National Boxing Hall of Fame next month. I'm on the ballot for Canastota. I mean, I don't know if the business would have gotten me the opportunity for the WBC if that was the only one, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'm grateful for the 4-belt era, but at the same time, I think that when you're making this move and creating a league for boxing, it makes sense. There's only one Super Bowl a year. Mm-hmm. Now, the difference with that is with this, we have different divisions. But there needs to be one Super Bowl for each division. You know, I think it makes sense. You know, so I don't know, man. I kind of told y'all that things was gonna be moving and things was gonna be happening, and I was hinting towards things a long time ago, and here they are.
Yeah, I love the one belt thing that Turkey's doing. I give him credit for that. Well, that's what we need. We need just one goddamn belt. Stop all this. Everybody. I was about to say, what are you about to do, Sean?
You're right.
I was like, so I agree with the one belt, and I respect that. But right now, it's like we getting what we've been asking for. We're just not getting it like we want it.
Right.
It's like my dad didn't do it, so I got a stepdad that's doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, you'd hope that with the freedom bestowed upon all these different people in boxing, they on their own accord would do the right thing, and if not, then Turkey and Dana are going to get their dictatorship monopoly on, which is supposed to be against the law in America. But since Bill Gates got away with it in the late 90s, that's a wrap now. And then
you learned a bunch of laws, huh, Sean? Yeah. You learned a bunch of laws.
Oh, yeah. Let me say this and then we'll wrap it up. I've been saying for a long time that when people ask me, what does it take to change boxing? I've told people this. It takes money and it takes responsibility. Nobody has enough money to do it. Nobody's willing to invest enough money to do it. And nobody wants the responsibility. Okay, so His Excellency has both. don't worry. Things is gonna be all right. All right.
Okay. All right.
I think boxing is gonna be in a good place moving forward. I'm looking forward to seeing. I know it's been an announcement, and now it has to be put in motion. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how all that starts to get put in motion. Y'all made me forget my goddamn motivational message. Cause
hold on, I got a question for Zittel.
Yeah.
Does this bring the entities together? The top ranks of PBC? Are they just still just fucking?
It might, but it's 50-50. Part of me is like, if it took this, then it's too late already. You know, like you guys had years and years to do it on your own. The battle may already be lost at this point. If it could be too late in the game. That said, I hope they do. And then just real quick about the WBC thing. You know, Turkey already shot down Benavidez Bivol yesterday.
I see that.
That's the mask starting to slip a little bit.
I didn't like that one. That drove me the wrong way.
That's hey, I'm starting to feel like I'm gonna pull this thing off. Let me start to show you guys that I'm just like everybody else. You don't fight for me and do what I want. You can't fight over here. And as for the WBC, I think Antt summed it up all beautifully, but I just think Mauricio didn't understand when he inherited the top of the company from his father, Jose, just how much leverage he had with the legacy of that title. All the grit from Mayweather and De La Hoya. This really started for Mauricio when he folded to Canelo. And Canelo, I think it was around the second or first Golovkin fight, and he kind of bended to Canelo's whims a little bit, and he didn't understand, look, even Canelo will come back if you hold your ground. And that was a chance for Mauricio. You hold your ground here, you could hold your ground with anybody because he's the face of boxing. If you hold your ground against Canelo, you're setting a precedent that nobody's above this belt. And if Mauricio would have played a few things differently, he might have got himself into a position where the WBC really is just head and shoulders above the other three. But short-sightedness, you know, I want this 3% here. I want my belt on camera in the ring here. I want, and all those short-term gain, long-term, put him in the spot he's in now. So.
Well, thank you, Zittel. I'll go off that motivational message.
Right.
Short-term versus long-term. Understand that the decisions you make today, they affected the life that you have 2 years from now, 3 years from now. The list goes on. So, in the short term, be patient, be diligent, pay attention, and make the right decisions, because in the long term, what you did yesterday affects tomorrow. This is the PorterWay.
Stay blessed.